Welcome back to Travel Idea Stories, your home for deep dive travel guides, natural wonders, and cultural stories from around the globe. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on notifications so you never miss an adventure with us. Today we are setting off on one of Europe's most legendary, dramatic, and unforgettable day hikes, the world-famous Samaria Gorge, nestled in the heart of the rugged White Mountains, or Lefka Ori, on the sun-kissed island of Crete, Greece. Stretching over 16 kilometers, nearly 10 miles from the high mountain plateau down to the turquoise waves of the Libyan Sea, Samaria is one of the longest canyons in Europe. Created millions of years ago by tectonic shifts and carved continuously by the winter torrents of the Taraios River, this sheer limestone fissure drops over 12,200 meters, nearly 4,000 feet, from top to bottom. Walking through Samaria isn't just a physical trek across wild mountain terrain, it is a journey through time. As you descend from high alpine pine forests into vertical rock walls rising 300 meters above your head, you walk paths once trodden by ancient Minoans, Roman travelers, Byzantine monks, and Cretan freedom fighters, who used these impenetrable canyon walls as a fortress against invading forces for centuries. In this video, we're taking you step by step through the entire trail. From the chilly morning mountain air at Xyloskalo, past ancient sanctuaries and ghost villages, straight through the world-famous Iron Gates, and finally out to the crystal-clear waters of Agia Rumeli. Grab a cup of coffee or lace up your hiking boots, sit back, and let's explore the untamed beauty of Samaria Gorge together. When planning a journey through the Samaria Gorge, most travelers opt for the classic downhill route. That standard trek starts high up on the Omalos Plateau at an altitude of 1,130 meters, over 4,000 feet, and descends 16 long kilometers all the way down to the Libyan Sea. However, there is another, far more challenging way to experience this natural wonder, doing the trek in reverse. In today's video, we are tackling the canyon from bottom to top, starting right at sea level in the coastal village of Aghiarumeli and making the grueling, continuous climb all the way up to the mountain rim at Xyloskalo. Ascending the gorge presents a completely different adventure. While downhill hikers battle knee pain and slippery descents, ascending from the coast tests your endurance, cardio, and stamina as you gain over 1,100 meters of elevation in a single day. Starting early in the morning at Aghiarumili, you leave the gentle sea breeze behind and step onto the rocky canyon path just as the rising sun casts its first golden glow over the surrounding cliffs. Whether you start from the sea or the plateau, the northern gateway to the canyon is Xyloskalo, which in Greek literally translates to wooden staircase. Historically, mountain travelers negotiated this sheer northern drop via rudimentary wooden steps carved into trunk timber, pinned directly against the cliff face. Today, Xyloskalo serves as the park's main upper checkpoint, featuring a wooden cafe where hikers can rest after reaching the summit or grab a quick espresso before taking on the descent. As we begin our climb out of the lower valley, pay close attention to the dramatic geological transition surrounding us. The higher reaches of the gorge are densely covered with ancient Calabrian pines, Pinus brutia, and majestic Cretan cypresses, Cupressus sempervirens. Many of these trees are hundreds of years old, clinging tightly to solid rock ledges at gravity-defying angles. Geologically, the White Mountains are composed predominantly of limestone, dolomite, and marble. Over millions of years, immense tectonic pressure lifted the ancient seabed, while rainfall dissolved and eroded the soft stone, slicing open this massive rift. Early in the day, the morning light bounces off these pale limestone walls, illuminating the canyon floor in soft shades of cream, pink, and ochre. Starting from Aghiarumeli and climbing upward means every kilometer brings cooler air and shifting landscapes. As your heart pumps and you conquer the rising stone terrain, the roar of the sea fades, replaced by the whispering wind through the pines and the steady burble of mountain streams higher up the trail. Leaving the immediate coastal flatlands behind, our upward trek leads us into the mouth of the lower canyon. Here, the soft sea breeze gives way to an increasingly arid, sun-drenched landscape dominated by smooth, water-carved river stones and soaring limestone walls. Because we are trekking from bottom to top, we hit one of the most famous and breathtaking milestones early in our journey, Sidero Portes, or the Iron Gates, often called Portes by locals. At roughly 2 kilometers past the national park entrance, the canyon narrows dramatically until the vertical walls on either side stand just 3 meters, under 10 feet wide. At the same time, these sheer megaliths of solid limestone shoot straight up into the sky to a dizzying height of over 300 meters, 1,000 feet. Climbing through this narrow slit of rock in the early morning is an incredible experience. The morning sun barely touches the canyon floor here, filling the narrow paths with cool, refreshing shade. Looking straight up at the thin sliver of blue sky high above, you get a powerful sense of the immense geological forces that carved this island. Tectonic shifts millions of years ago split the seabed open, and winter torrents from the White Mountains continuously carved and smoothed these giant walls. As we continue our upward climb past the Iron Gates, the path crisscrosses the riverbed multiple times. We step over wooden footbridges and tread across polished river stones. Look closely at the cliff faces on either side. You can see dramatic wave-like folds and strata in the stone layers, twisted by millions of years of continental pressure. Pushing steadily uphill past the Iron Gates, the canyon opens into a wider, mountain-rimmed basin. Here, at roughly the halfway mark of our ascent, lies the ghost village of Samaria. Surrounded by towering peaks, Samaria was once an isolated mountain settlement populated by woodcutters, goat herders, and olive growers. The village gets its name from the 14th century Byzantine church located nearby, dedicated to Ossia Maria, Sacred Mary of Egypt. Over centuries of local Cretan dialect, Ossia Maria was slurred and shortened to Samaria and eventually Samaria. Because of its sheer cliff walls and remote location, this village served as an impregnable stronghold during times of conflict. Local Cretan freedom fighters, the Sfakiats, repelled Ottoman forces from these very cliffs for centuries. Later, during World War II, Allied soldiers and local partisans used the gorge as a secret escape corridor down to the coast of Agia Rumeli to meet evacuating naval ships. When Samaria Gorge was designated a national park in 1962, the remaining villagers were relocated to protect the area's ecology. Today, the traditional stone cottages serve as park ranger stations and medical posts. Resting under the shade of ancient mulberry trees in the village center offers a welcome pause during the climb. It is also your best opportunity to spot the park's most famous native animal, the krikri, Capra egagrus criticis, the wild goat of Crete. Recognizable by their long sweeping horns and agile stance, krikri are an endangered endemic species found only in Crete's high mountains and a few uninhabited offshore islets. While naturally shy, they frequently wander down into the quiet village, clearing to drink from the fresh mountain springs and graze in the shade. Leaving Samaria village behind, our trail enters a lush, cool pine forest. The path becomes softer underfoot, covered in dry pine needles, and towering Calabrian pines and ancient cypresses form a dense green canopy overhead. The air here is fragrant with wild herbs, thyme, sage, and endemic Cretan dittany, Origanum dictamnus, a medicinal plant prized since antiquity. Bright pink clusters of wild oleander grow along the dry stone creek beds, adding vibrant pops of color against the pale gray rock. Further along the upward path, nestled in a shadowy grove of giant cypresses, stands the small whitewashed chapel of Agios Nikolaos, St. Nicholas. Built during the Byzantine era, this stone sanctuary features a terracotta roof and a natural mountain spring where hikers can refill their water bottles with cold, pure mountain water. This spot has been sacred for millennia. Archaeological excavations around Agios Nikolaos reveal the remains of an ancient 6th century BCE sanctuary dedicated to Apollo. Ancient travelers stopping to rest here offered sacrifices to the gods of nature. Archaeologists uncovered ancient hearths, bronze arrowheads, spear points, clay oil lamps, and small bronze figurines of wild rams and goats. Standing in the quiet shade of Agios Nikolaos today, feeling the cool mountain breeze after hours of climbing, you share the exact same resting spot used by ancient Minoan, Greek, and Roman travelers thousands of years ago. After leaving Agios Nikolaos, the shaded pine forest gradually thins out, and we face the ultimate physical challenge of the entire ascent, the steep, relentless climb up Mount Gigelos to the Omalos Plateau. While downhill trekkers do this section first while their legs are fresh, ascending hikers face this 3-kilometer wall of switchbacks at the end of their day, after already gaining hundreds of meters of elevation. The path zigzags continuously along stone steps and wooden guardrails, carved directly into the cliffside. Each turn opens up increasingly dramatic, breathtaking panoramas of the deep canyon below. Looking down into the abyss where you walked hours earlier offers a tremendous feeling of accomplishment. The geology here shifts back to exposed limestone and marble. High above, wild eagles soar on thermal winds rising from the canyon floor. The mountain air turns noticeably cooler as you pass 1,000 meters in altitude, providing a welcome freshness to your burning muscles. With one final push up the stone steps, you reach the summit checkpoint at Xyloskalo, 1,130 meters above sea level. Passing through the exit turnstiles, you step onto the Omalos Plateau. Here, the panoramic views across the White Mountains, combined with the realization that you have climbed from the sea all the way to the top of Europe's longest gorge, make every step worth the effort. Trekking the Samaria Gorge in reverse, ascending from the coastal shores of Agia Rumeli all the way up to the mountain rim at Xyloskalo is a truly distinct adventure, but it does demand thoughtful preparation. Choosing your direction comes down to what kind of challenge your body prefers. The traditional downhill route from Xyloskalo is certainly gentler on your heart and lungs, but that initial 3-kilometer descent over polished stone steps can take a heavy toll on your knees, ankles, and toes. Taking the uphill route, on the other hand, shifts the burden entirely to your cardiovascular endurance, stamina, and calves. While your lungs will definitely feel the burn as you climb over 200 meters of elevation, it is remarkably easy on your joints. Plus, there's a huge psychological reward. Because the vast majority of hikers head downhill, you'll be walking against the tide, leaving you with long stretches of quiet solitude and peaceful trail all to yourself. If you decide to conquer the gorge from bottom to top, timing and logistics are everything. You'll want to catch an early morning ferry from Sugia or Horasfakion over to Aghiarumeli, allowing you to hit the trail before the fierce Mediterranean heat sets in. Plan for a solid 6 to 8 hours of continuous climbing and keep an eye on your pace. You'll need to reach the top at Xyloskalo with enough time to catch the late afternoon public kettle bus back to Chania or Ritimno. Finally, don't underestimate the trail underfoot. A pair of sturdy, broken-in hiking boots with excellent ankle support is essential for gripping the smooth, water-worn stones. Make sure to pack high-energy snacks, plenty of sun protection, and a refillable water bottle. You'll find icy cold, natural mountain springs scattered all along the path to keep you refreshed every step of the way. Thank you so much for taking this epic upward journey through the Samaria Gorge with us on Travel Edu Stories. Climbing this legendary canyon from the Libyan Sea to the top of the White Mountains is an unforgettable adventure that truly showcases the wild spirit of Crete. If you enjoyed this trail guide and visual experience, please like this video, leave a comment below with your thoughts or questions, and share it with your travel buddies. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Travel Edu Stories and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. We have plenty more immersive travel stories, hiking guides, and cultural journeys coming your way soon. Thank you for watching, keep exploring, and we will see each other in the next video.